Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we are building, no, we're not building all of this. Today I am in a collaboration with 6 other simmers, and I'm going to be building the interior of just one of these cottages. Phew, imagine how long the video would be of us building all of this. Oh my, it is such a gorgeous village. It is called Little Henford Village. It is up on the gallery from MenaBuchner, and the tour video of this collaboration is also on Mena's channel, and you can head to her channel. I will link it down below for you so that you can check out the tour, because it is absolutely amazing. The interiors are gorgeous, and the other builders in this collaboration did such an amazing job, so I was really proud to be part of this collab. Now, cottages aren't my forte. Like, I like doing them, but I don't know if I'm good at them. I don't know. I think I'm okay at them, but I think this ended up looking really good, so I was very happy with this. I ended up making this like a 2-bedroom 1-bathroom cottage, so it was compact. It's like the bedrooms aren't huge and the bathroom's not huge either, but you know, I think it works. And you know, cottage does kind of lend itself to a cozy vibe, so I think squishing in a little bit is absolutely fine. So I'm just working on what to do for the interior as far as walls go. I felt like having like a brick or a stone would work really nicely with the wooden floors, so that's kind of the vibe that I went for. And the nice dark brown as well adds a nice bit of richness, and I'm going to actually balance that out with a touch of colour in sort of pinks and reds, just for something a little bit different, with like little bits of green as well. So a lot of the stuff that comes with the cottage living pack, I like how I put that that little shelving unit there with the laundry and stuff on it to use later, and it just gets moved around and then deleted. That amused me. So I am just doing a little hall table. I think that is the horse ranch hall table. It's quite a narrow space going in there. I couldn't move the door, so I was kind of working with the space that I had, and yeah, it was like quite a narrow little space, but I managed to make it work. And I just wanted to have like a few bits and pieces here in the entrance area. Just, you know, in a cottage, I think you would just sort of have like little bits and pieces where you just kind of dump stuff down as you've come in from a day out on the fields, or out in the garden, you know, doing your gardening and harvesting and ploughing and all those things that you do when you have a large garden, I guess. I don't know. I am not a gardener. I am not claiming to be a gardener. I am a builder in Sims, is what I am, and the player of games. So I am using the cottage living stuff. I ended up going with the pink, and the reason I chose pink was it worked with the table that I chose, because I really like that table and I wanted to use that. So that's the reason I chose the pink, because I didn't want to use red. I thought the red would be too much, but the pink would be a little bit softer and more cozy feeling, so that's what I went with. So this will evolve a little bit, but this is sort of the gist of what I ended up going for. I think I extend it just like a touch on the other side. Yeah, so I do extend it one on that side, just so that I had space for the rubbish bin basically. And I capped off the end of that little wall sticking out with a column, because you know, that just sort of felt like it was a little bit more finished looking. So that's why I did that. Just adding some more clutter into the kitchen area. So there's like, you know, if you think a cottage, you think, you know, there's quite a bit of little bits, pieces of clutter around the place. So I was conscious of making sure that I did add a decent amount of clutter in here, just to give it that lovely lived-in feel, which is very nice when it comes to a nice little cute little cottage. And I mean, this whole village is absolutely adorable. Like, there's a big church, there's like a wedding area, and there's like little stalls out in the, I wanted to say courtyard area, it's not the right word I'm going for, but like, you know, like the village centre, there's like some stalls out there, so you could sell stuff out there if you wanted to. And yeah, it's super cute. And yeah, I can imagine, like, this is a pre-build for the For Rent pack coming out, so I can kind of imagine, like, you know, you have 6 different families in here, and you know, they're just kind of living in their own little world in this cute little village. It will be so cute. Yeah, it took me a little while just to figure out what I wanted to do with this space. I decided that it would make more sense to have a fire. None of those fires, but a fire over on that side, and then have the couch actually facing toward the fire. And I don't know if I get a TV in there. I think maybe I do. Oh well, let's see how this evolves. But yeah, I definitely get the couch in there, and like a nice rocking chair. You know, just once again going for that cozy vibes. Like, you know, it's a cold winter's evening and you're snuggling inside by the fire. Maybe you're doing a bit of knitting or crocheting, or you're just chilling out and just relaxing watching the flames. I mean, it could be any of those things. I was thinking about extending that out to a 3, so I did that, but I don't want that couch, so we'll get rid of that couch. And they did sort of even it up more with the same sort of size as the kitchen, so I did like that. But then I was kind of like, maybe that's a bit too far. So yeah, fussing around with this for a little while. Got there in the end and found ourselves a little end table to go in there in between the couch and the rocking chair. Just using a bit of horse ranch. And horse ranch actually works really nicely with the cottage living packs. So it's kind of one of those things where those packs make sense together. Like nifty knitting, laundry day, cottage living, and horse ranch all work really nicely together. So those are sort of packs that really coexist in a friendly sort of fashion. So I used a bit of those in this particular build, and they work nicely. I was just like, what am I going to do with this corner? I felt like I needed something on that corner, but I was just like, I just don't know what. I was playing around with the cabinets there, but they ended up being too wide, so I just went back to the original cabinet that I had. But then I was like, I still don't know what to do with this corner, so that took a little bit of fussing around. Then I decided that I wanted to actually have a cat also living in the cottage, because that makes sense. I mean, it does make sense. You cottage life and like cats and that sort of thing. I mean, you can sort of see it, right? They're there to keep the mice levels down. And I managed to fit like a little desk in here. I'm using the werewolf pack. Werewolf pack actually works well with this stuff as well. It's that rustic feel. So, you know, you sort of have these packs that, you know, have that modern feel, the traditional feel, and like a rustic feel. And, you know, your cottage living, horse ranch, werewolf, nifty knitting, laundry day, all those sorts of things kind of work with that rustic side of things, which is good. So just working through what I want to put in that corner and what is going to go on it. Is that the one? Oh no, that's okay. I thought it was this. There's a snowy escape one where you can't put lamps on it or something. I use it as an end table, and then I'm like, oh, I can't put anything on it, and then I delete it. That's pretty much the story of my life. I can't deal with that problem. Delete. Oh dear. So I was just working on a little bit more clutter. I'm going through the country kitchen stuff is what I'm doing. So that's actually the country kitchen kit works perfectly, obviously, with the countryside, rustic kind of life, simple living kind of, you know, cottage living stuff. So yeah, that's a great little kit, perfect to go with this. So yeah, I was just seeing what I could do there. I kind of felt like I needed something else by the fire, and I decided on like shelves with clutter on them. So that's what I'm doing. Once again, just going back to the little bits and pieces in the decoration section and just seeing what would be appropriate. It was like kind of kitcheny, but I thought that was kind of okay, like jars of stuff. Like maybe it's jars of preserved bits and pieces that they've made over the summer months or the spring months or the autumn months or whenever you make preserved things. And you know, it's winter now and they've got all their little bits and pieces out ready to be eaten over the winter time. Oh, and I did decorate also the back garden as well. I did that as a separate room. Oh, these are both available up on the gallery if you want to download them as well, VelvettB. So they're on my gallery up there if you want to check them out. It's Cottage 6. So that's Cottage 6 and the Cottage 6 garden. So just adding in cozy blankets into that little section. I think it's coming together. So we've got little bits and pieces of clutter. I ended up doing like vases in that corner. And with the shelves on there, it actually works really nicely. I did forget that it was supposed to be medium walls, so at some point I will lift the will lift the walls up as well. So it is a medium height wall build, but in the moment I've got it on small walls because I forgot it was supposed to be medium, and yeah, the room downloaded it as a small, so oh well, oopsie doopsie daisy, it's fine. It didn't really take much of an adjustment to fix that one. And I decided that a bit of crockery around that corner would make sense because that's sort of the dining area, so use bits and pieces around there for the crockery, and adding in some more plants as well. And then I had that little space on the wall, so I was thinking about what to put there. It was a little bit too narrow for me to put like shelving or anything, so a painting was it. And then I just put some pretty flowers on the table, because why wouldn't you want pretty flowers on the table? Okay, now it is time to move on to the next room. What am I going to do first? I think the bathroom here. So it is a small space, so just kept it pretty basic as far as things go. You got your shower, your basin and your toilet, and I'm just using the bathroom clutter kit to its best advantage. I love how it all sort of fits in small spaces, a lot of the bathroom clutter from that kit, so it's very, very useful in tight spaces. So yeah, just using sort of the brown bits and pieces that I could find for the bathroom, just to keep in keeping with the rest of the build. Then I was like, oh no, this room is too small. Oh no. I was like, well, I think really the bed is just going to have to go against the wall. It's going to be a double bed. I did contemplate making this room a single bedroom, but I decided I really probably needed to make it a double bedroom. So it's a bit squishy, unfortunately, but that's okay. I did kind of expect it to be a little bit tight on space when I decided on 2 bedrooms, and I've just gone with, I think that's the cottage living bed, pretty certain, and that's definitely the cottage living rug. I'm just scrolling through the colours on, and I'm using sort of pinks and greens in this bedroom, so carrying on the pink that came into the build with the kitchen, and then adding touches of green in there as well. So this will change around a little bit, but that's essentially it. And then I was just deciding on what curtains, because curtains can quite often bring a room together. So I'm just using the little Parenthood curtains, which are actually really handy for small windows, and the pink. And I'm just using the Blooming Room Kit plant, which is the best plant, the best hanging plant in the game, and possibly the best plant in the game. Although I do love the Dine Out plant, but yeah, this Blooming Room Kit one is definitely the best plant in the hanging plant in the game. And I'm just adding some touches of artwork to the walls, and that's our first bedroom. And then moving on to the second bedroom. So this is going to be definitely a single bedroom, and I didn't forget about the cat. So the cat bed will come into play in the bedroom. I did play around with like the litter box for ages, and I just deleted it because I was just like, I just can't make this fit here. And like, if someone wants to add a litter box to the build later, then they can. But it just like looked really weird in the garden. I was like, oh, and I couldn't fit it anywhere in the house. I was like, oh no. Okay, well, Kitty's just gonna do kitty things in the kitty garden. I'm sorry, Kitty. It's just the way things are going to go. So if you do put a cat in here, you will need to put in a litter box, because I didn't put one in. I mean, I did, but then I deleted it. So I'm just using the Horse Ranch clothing stand, and I've used the Immaculate shelving, and I'm just making like a makeshift kind of shelving unit at the end of the bed, kind of like with the accessories and bits and pieces, because there's not a lot in the bathroom, space in the bathroom for all the bathroom accoutrements. So I thought they would be perfect, kind of like in the single bedroom. You could actually even have that bedroom as a rented out room, and then have like the central space as a shared space, and then like you know, the landlord could be in the master bedroom or something, you know. You could go that route if you wanted to, but you know, you've got all of these other beautiful cottages in this build, so you probably don't need to. You can just have like the whole space rented out to maybe one family with maybe a teen and an older couple or something. I don't know. So then that is pretty much the house done. I am going to fuss around with that litter and then go like, nah, can't decide on that. So I'm off to the garden and I'm going to build like a cute little back garden for the build. So I did want to make it practical as well as pretty. So I did put a couple of garden plots there, and obviously the rubbish bin going in there as well, because you need your rubbish bin. And then we've got our firewood. I always forget about that little firewood thing, but it's actually really useful for particularly like cottagey type builds and that sort of thing. But it's just useful to have a wood bin. If you've got a fire, then it makes sense to have a wood bin. So I just blocked off the rubbish bin from the hen house a little bit, just using the fence, just so it wouldn't create another room and create problems for me later in terms of uploading it to the gallery, because they are uploaded as rooms rather than a full lot for the two that I have built. The actual little Henford Village is uploaded as a full village lot, and it is 50 by 40. So as you can see here, I've put it on 3 Old Mill Lane. I'm building it on 3 Old Mill Lane, but I think that's actually the 50 by 40 lot. There's definitely a 50 by 40 lot on Old Mill Lane anyway, and that's where you can put it. That's where I put it in my game anyhow. You can put it wherever you like. So I'm just adding some decoration to the build. I've used lots of clutter. The greenhouse haven kit definitely came into play there, and that is the back garden. So let's take a look inside so you can sort of see the little bits and pieces of clutter around the place. I think it's got a really warm, homey feel to it. Obviously I didn't do the ceiling because I didn't have the full build. I just had the room. And go around there, you can see bits and pieces of clutter in the kitchen. And then going through here, you can sort of see the main bedroom here, and then going into the bathroom. And then we will flip through to the single bedroom here in the slightly darker maroon and pink. And the other side of that there. So that is basically our build. There's the finish on the garden out the back, so like lots of little potted plants and lots of clutter with the from the greenhouse haven kit. And here's a few of the other builds, the cottages, each of the cottages that were in the build. And I want to say thank you very much. Don't forget to go and watch the tour collaboration build on Mena's channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.